Hello to all of you heading to the Curragh on Saturday, where Aidan O'Brien is lined up to take the Irish Oaks with Minnie Hawke, who of course lines up after taking the British version. It would crown what a great season he is having after doing the Derby double with Lambourn, and it would be an historic first to land all four. The Master of Ballydoyle has broken many records in his brilliant career, including bettering Bobby Frankel's 25 Group or Grade 1 winners in a season in 2017, but this would be one that make the headlines and stand the test of time. Also, be sure to check out Marie Francois' Sunday production, where she'll be at Chantilly, but there are also a couple of decent races here at the Curragh to look in on. Saturday's nap is not at the Curragh, though, but at Newbury, where in the Steventon Stakes, I think that it will be Brian Meehan's Rashabar to land this listed contest, and I'm not worried at all that he will see out this new trip. We saw him finishing fourth to Field of Gold the last day, and this is a much easier task than that Group 1 St James's Palace Stakes, where, to me, he was still doing plenty going through the line. Of course, he was also fourth in the 2,000 guineas on this track, again no match for Field of Gold, but put in a decent run, so has track form, and won't be minding any rain that's about. Roger Varian's Enfjar and Harry Charlton's Oki Chobi have nudged ahead of the selection in the markets this week, but I can't have that, so it's Rashabar for me. Our next best is at the Curragh, lining up in the Sapphire Stakes. Well, I wouldn't think that Arizona Blaze would have to improve much to take this, judged on his fine second in the Commonwealth at Royal Ascot. He ran a real cracker in that Group 1, just denied by a neck by Time for Sandals, but now back at 5 furlongs, I can see this Sergei Prokofiev colt making a big effort from the front. The pair of British raiders, Ed Walker's Mgira and Jonathan Portman's Rumstar, both come off the back of a winning run the last day, with Ryan Moore booked for the ride on Mgira, making him the big threat. However, Arizona Blaze rarely fails to deliver, so he's my pick at this trip, and I'd expect Rob Hornby to make a late charge on Rumstar to make a decent race of it. Earlier on, it does seem that everything Aidan O'Brien touches comes up shining this year, with a double in the English and Irish Derby standing out, and True Love can take the Gain Railway Stakes here. I thought she was hugely impressive the last day when she took the Queen Mary Stakes at Ascot's Royal Doe, and although Adrian Murray's Power Blue looks potentially smart, I think the True Love might have his measure in receipt of £3. It's a bit disappointing that there's just the 4 going to post, but I'm of the opinion that this is a 2-horse race, with True Love just edging it over Power Blue. Back at Newbury, another race that's thrown up a Group 1 performer dropped quite a bit in grade, and that is Ed Bethel's Regional. He was in the King Charles III Stakes at Royal Ascot the last day and was only just over a length behind the impressive American affair, so to me that's strong form for this Group 3. He was fourth in this last year, with the reopposing elite status taking the race, and Kind of Blue and Diligent Harry also in the mix. Kind of Blue is my each-way pick as his time of year comes round, but I'll stick with Regional for the win and look past elite status, who doesn't look to be in the same form. For the Curragh Cup, I don't want to say that Joseph O'Brien's Al Riffa should be winning this, as nothing is certain in horse racing, but he's the class act for me in this lineup. He's also unproven at this trip, but it's good ground expected, so I'm of the opinion he will see this out. Also, he is a dual Group 1 winner and ran a brilliant race to finish second to the globe-trotting superstar Rebels Romance in the Hardwick at Royal Ascot last month, so there's no doubt he's in form. Aidan O'Brien's Shackleton must be the big danger, getting an £11 pull with Al Riffa's penalty for those Group 1 wins, and I think it's between these two.